Is your dog a genius or just really stubborn? We ranked 56 breeds by how fast they obey, counting up from dead last to number 1. But stick around, because the breeds everyone calls dumb might just be the smartest dogs here. Let's get into it. The Shih Tzu was bred for Pellis lapdog life as a lion dog, so its low obedience drive is by design, not low intellect. Famed for its nose, the Basset Hound has one of the best after the Bloodhound, so recall simply loses to scent. Nose-driven, not stubborn. The Mastiff, an ancient giant guardian and one of the heaviest breeds, was bred to assess threats, not drill, calm, with low repetition tolerance. Carrying around 225 million scent receptors, the Beagle is the standard customs detection dog, bottom of obedience, top of the scent world. The Pekingese, once a Chinese imperial lapdog sacred to the court, is dignified and obstinate. Bred to be a companion, never a worker. The Bloodhound carries about 300 million scent receptors, the most of any breed, and follows days-old trails, so its nose overrides every handler cue. Bred to course wolves across the Russian steppe, the Borsoi is aloof and independent like every sighthound. It thinks alone and obeys little. Aloof and cat-like with a blue-black tongue, the Chow Chow bonds to one person and stays indifferent to commands, independent, not unintelligent. Descended from bull-baiting dogs, the Bulldog learns on its own schedule. Low bit-ability plus its flat-face stamina limits drag the scores down, not cognition. The Basenji, Central Africa's barkless dog that yodels instead of barking, is cat-like and notoriously untrainable. Bred to hunt autonomously, low compliance by nature. Dead last, the Afghan Hound was engineered to chase and decide alone at 40 miles an hour, the opposite of biddable, but not unintelligent. Energetic and playful, the Boxer carries bull-baiting ancestry and a name nodding to its pawing play. It just needs repetition and patience, not brains. Great Dane, the towering German boarhound and one of the tallest breeds. It learns slower but steady. A gentle giant simply late to mature. The Dachshund was bred to fight badgers underground alone, so it's a clever but selective listener. Recall is genuinely hard, not dumb. Older than the Siberian Husky, the Alaskan Malamute is a heavy Arctic freighting sled dog, smart and independent, just not built for repetitive obedience. Nicknamed the poor man's racehorse, the Whippet is a gentle, sensitive sighthound, an independent sprint hunter that lands only fair on commands. Meet the Chinese Shar-Pei, an ancient guarding breed with deep wrinkles and a blue-black tongue, aloof, strong-willed, bonded to family but wary of strangers. Bred in southern Africa to track and bay lions, the Rhodesian Ridgeback is an independent, strong-willed hunter, intelligent, but genuinely low in biddability. The Shiba Inu, an ancient Japanese Spitz, ranked among the least biddable breeds in a 2022 study, but that's cat-like autonomy, not low cognition. Now hold on, because this is the part that changes everything. This whole ranking measures obedience, not intelligence. That Husky ignoring you, that stubborn hound? They're not dumb. They were bred to think for themselves. So as we climb into the top tiers, ask yourself, do you want a dog that obeys or a dog that thinks? Keep watching. The Dalmatian once ran beside carriages, guarding horses and firehouses. Average on commands but high in stamina, so patient. Consistent work pays off. Australian Shepherd, actually an American ranch breed, not Australian. Despite its genus reputation, survey trainability sits mid-pack, genuine smarts, well below the Border Collie. The Siberian Husky, a Chukchi sled dog bred for Arctic endurance, is intelligent but famously independent, built to make trail decisions, not obey blindly. The Greyhound hits about 45 miles an hour, the fastest breed. Low trainability isn't low intelligence, just an independent sprinter and notorious couch potato. The Cavalier King Charles Spaniel was bred purely for companionship in royal courts, affectionate, willing, and eager to be near people, with average trainability. The Bichon Frise, a Mediterranean companion once popular in the circus, is cheerful and capable of tricks, though its obedience speed is only average. The Pointer freezes on game birds the moment it finds them, a driven hunter, only average on commands but absolutely elite on instinct. The Boston Terrier, nicknamed the American Gentleman, came from Bulldog and Terrier crosses, friendly and reasonably trainable, with a stubborn streak running through. The Yorkshire Terrier was a Victorian ratting terrier turned lapdog, smarter than that image suggests, a quick learner that just stays willful. The giant Schnauzer worked European droving routes before moving into police and guard duty. Capable working trainability, though it really needs an experienced handler. Bred to herd fish into nets and fetch gear for Portuguese fishermen, the Portuguese water dog is an athletic and genuinely trainable water worker. The Airedale Terrier, the king of terriers, ran messages and stood sentry in World War I, blending real working ability with an independent streak. The Samoyed is a Siberian sled and reindeer herding Spitz whose smile prevents drool icicles. Friendly and clever, but a sled dog thinks for itself. The Newfoundland is a giant water rescue breed with webbed feet, bred to save drowning people. A gentle, willing nanny dog and steady learner. The flashy red Irish setter was bred to locate game birds, trainable, yes, but exuberant, slow to mature, and easily distracted. An ancient Nordic Spitz that hunted moose and stood guard, the Norwegian Elkhound is bold and bright, but independent, never push-button obedient. The bearded collie is a shaggy Scottish herding breed brimming with lively intelligence, paired with an independent, irrepressible bounce all its own. Short-legged and beloved by Queen Elizabeth, the Pembroke Welsh Corgi nipped cattle heels, and behind that comedic shape sits a quick-learning herding brain. The miniature Schnauzer, a German farm ratter named for its bearded snout, is alert and eager to please. A genuinely fast, willing little learner. The English Springer Spaniel is a Flushing gun dog that springs birds from cover, biddable and energetic, an eager working learner that loves a job. Only excellent on Coren's survey yet top of the largest controlled cognition study, the Belgian Malinois proves the winner depends on what you measure. The Rough Collie, the Scottish herding breed that Lassie made famous, pairs strong herding intelligence with real biddability, clever and willing in equal measure. The German short-haired pointer points, tracks, and retrieves across land and water, a high-drive, all-purpose cun dog whose versatility comes paired with genuinely quick learning. Named for hunting woodcock, the Cocker Spaniel is the sporting group's smallest Flushing dog, soft, sensitive, people-pleasing, and happy to learn and cooperate. The Vizsla, a Hungarian point retriever, bonds so tightly it's nicknamed the Velcro dog. Sensitive and biddable, it learns fast when you train with kindness. Bred to haul carts and drive cattle through the Swiss Alps, the Bernese Mountain Dog is a gentle, steady, genuinely willing learner. The Pomeranian was bred down from larger Arctic sled dogs. That Spitz heritage shows. Bright, bold, and surprisingly trainable for such a tiny toy. Number 1. The Border Collie. A dog named Chaser learned 1,022 object names in a controlled study. Though Chaser was exceptional, not every collie. Don't let the grooming fool you. The standard poodle was a water retriever whose fancy clip protected its joints, and it ranks second for trainability. Since 1899, the German Shepherd has been the world's default police and military breed, bred for working ability, so built for discipline is genuinely accurate. The Golden Retriever, bred in Scotland to retrieve waterfowl, became a staple guide and therapy dog, soft-mouthed, people-focused, a top-tier gentle worker. A German tax collector created the Doberman Pinscher in the 1890s as a personal protection dog, a fast, focused learner combining trainability with guarding drive. The Shetland Sheepdog is a herding breed from Scotland's Shetland Islands, not a miniature collie, a small body with top-tier processing built for obedience. The Labrador Retriever is highly trainable and a leading service dog, yet it scored low on independent problem-solving, proving trainable doesn't mean independent thinker. The Papillon, named Butterfly for its ears, is among the oldest toy spaniels in art, tiny, but punching far above its size and obedience. Descended from Roman drover dogs, the Rottweiler drove cattle and pulled carts. Calm and confident, it shows strong working trainability, learning reliably with structure. Bred in Australia from dingo ancestry to drove cattle, the Australian cattle dog is tireless and biddable, it needs a job or invents one. So there's your ranking, from the gloriously stubborn to the freakishly trainable. But here's the truth. Trainability was never intelligence. The smartest breed on paper is useless if it doesn't fit your life. So tell me in the comments, did your dog's breed land too high or too low? Hit subscribe for more honest pet science, and I'll see you in the next one.